Hey, what's going on, guys? FullFrontage here. Today, bringing you guys a Clash Royale video, and we're going to be talking about Season 7. Season 7 is going to be coming up. The projected date for this is going to be January 7th, which will include balance changes, which we will go over. But first, we're going to be talking about the newest card coming to Clash Royale is the Firecracker, a 3 Elixir common card. And I asked you guys on Twitter what decks you guys think the Firecracker would work well in, so let's take a look at some of the responses. Again, these decks that you guys see on screen aren't exact ones that people responded with, but these are decks that I kind of like pictured Firecracker working well in based on what you guys had said. So one of the things that was said was Expo. This is Expo 2.9. It has Firecracker instead of archers. Pretty simple. Mortar was one of the other responses. This is Mortar Minor Control. Has Firecracker in for Dark Goblin. So that one might work. Someone said Golem. I believe Bag rocked this deck with Night Witch and Bomber. Switch it out with Ewiz and Firecracker. Ewiz just providing a little bit more control with the stun effect and everything like that. And then this is the deck I created that I think Firecracker would work pretty decent in. If you guys remember that very like heavy spell bait deck, it had Furnace, Bowler, Mirror, Goblin Barrel, stuff like that. Kind of tweaking it a little bit to synergize better with the Firecracker. It's like an arrow log bait, so it has Princess and Firecracker to bait out log. And then if they have arrows, you also have Minion Horde in there as a contender as well. And then Furnace, Mega Knight, and Guards, and then Firecracker and Princess can be utilized on defense as well. Let's take a look at the Firecracker stats. So this is the stats of Tournament Standard: 252 hit points, 53 damage, shoots in a cone, hits out 5, and the cone shoots out pretty far. I think it's an extra like 5 or 6 tiles. Hit speed of 3 seconds when she shoots the firework, or the Firecracker, I guess. She knocks back 2 tiles. So that is a very interesting and new mechanic in the game, and it's being put on a common card. But the next thing we have coming up is the balance changes. So the top 4 cards you guys see are the cards that are going to be getting changed. The first change is going to be for the Night Witch. The initial bat spawn speed is going to be reduced from currently 1.3 seconds to 3.5 seconds. So 2.2 seconds longer to spawn in that first wave of bats. And then the Night Witch will also have a slightly slower first hit. So bats take longer to spawn, and her first hit is slower. So pretty decent change to Night Witch. She won't be as pivotal on like just dropping her in the back and then throwing a tank right at the bridge immediately. So that's going to change a little bit. And then Fisherman is going to be coming back into the meta. Hopefully his hook range is going to be increased back to 7. But the charge time of the hook is going to be 1.5 seconds. It's currently 1.1 seconds, so 0.4 seconds difference from the charge time. Hopefully this won't make Fisherman like too strong like he was before, but hopefully it brings him back and potentially puts him in a good spot for the meta. The next is going to be the Elixir Golem. It's a buff. I'm just kidding. It's a nerf. I would cry. But anyway, so hit points are going to be reduced by 6% across all forms. So 6% knockdown for hit points. Hopefully it won't be as just broody as he is now, if that's a word. He just kind of pushes his way through. No matter what you defend with, he still gets to your tower. So hopefully this will help a little bit. The next one is going to be Lavahound. So the Hound is getting a little bit of a buff where the pups are getting toned down a little bit. So a little bit of a balance there. So the Hound's range is going to increase from 2 seconds to 3.5 seconds. The damage is going to go from 45 to 75. And then for the pups, the current hit speed is 1 second. It's going to be 1.7 seconds. And its melee range is now going to be long, so it's currently 2 tiles. It's now going to be knocked down to 1.6 in unison with the long melee range. So lava pups are technically melee units now, but they're still in the air, of course. So those are the balance changes. Overall, I think they're pretty good. I think this is a good start into like kind of making a balanced meta, and then more cards will rise and fall. I would love to see like Zappies get a little bit of a buff at some point. Maybe Golem get a little bit of a nerf, things like that. But these changes right now are pretty solid. Hopefully Night Witch will reduce Elixir Golem and Golem, and maybe not make it as strong. I do like the Night Witch nerf. The other idea I had for Night Witch nerf, which initially came from Colton, was Colton was the first person I heard it from, and that was changing the amount of bats on death from 4 to 3. So if Night Witch is still too strong, maybe that 4 to 3 change could come into effect, which I did like. So the next thing that's going to be coming up is Season 7. We have a new arena coming in, which you guys will see. And then obviously Pass Royale. At tier 20, it's going to be that new emote. At tier 10, it's going to be a tower skin, which is like a lunar lantern. I think that's what it's called. And we have the Firecracker. So I'll show you guys the new emote. This is the new emote, the Firecracker. She tries and it just kind of explodes in the cannon. Very cool emote. And then the tower skin and things like that. All right, here we go. Jumping back into it now. We have the Firecracker. So let me get, I want to get NATO and Fisherman in cycle so you guys can see what some pulls are. So we're going to put the Fisherman, or we're going to put the Firecracker farthest away as possible. And then we are going to see if we can pull that in. Just kidding. It dies pretty quickly. So bear with me while I'm getting used to like all the timing and stuff like that. So let me get Fisherman back in cycle. Same thing with NATO. So I believe it is possible. Let me just do this, and then we're gonna zap log. And by the way, if you guys didn't see, I used a mirror there and it like showed right underneath where I was playing the card. But anyway, so let's try that one more time. So we're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna throw the Fisherman right here, and it's gonna activate King Tower just like that. So you guys saw it. That placement on any unit, because I didn't even pull it in, will activate King Tower. I'm looking at 2 screens, so I didn't exactly see where the Firecracker was, but the Firecracker in that position will activate King Tower. I'll circle it or do something in it in editing, so you guys can see that. But let's go back to the Firecracker and let's NATO it. So let me get Fisherman back in cycle, because the Firecracker is going to need something to target. Once we pull it in. So let me try to get the precision here. So we're going to do this. I'm going to put the Fisherman right here. We're going to NATO it. And then it will activate King Tower like you guys just saw. So NATOing Fisherman, or NATOing the Firecracker and putting it in, or another spot to NATO it is going to be on like the corner, like NATOing it to the corner. So let me show you guys that as well. We'll do that. We'll do that. Let's get the NATO back in cycle. We're going to get Firecracker back in cycle. Okay, so same thing. We're going to, so if the Firecracker is like coming up the middle of some sorts, if you NATO it right here, it will also activate King Tower. So you don't even need a unit like you typically would. If you just NATO it kind of in that spot, it will indeed activate the King Tower. So that's gonna do it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are excited for the Firecracker. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this unit. Do you think she's gonna be bad with how easily she can activate King Tower? Those are just Fisherman and NATO mechanics. I'm sure there's a lot more that can be done to activate King Tower. Maybe if you log it a certain way, it might hit the King Tower. If you put a unit down in a certain tile, it might activate the King Tower. We'll have to figure it out. If you guys want to see any more interactions with the Firecracker, let me know down in the comment section below. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more content. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later. Peace out.